studio production begins in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome to Community Foundation Spotlight. I'm Erica Joseph, President of the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore, and we appreciate your time to learn more about some of the wonderful programs right here in our community. We have Amanda Brumfield, who is with WorWic Community College with us today. She's with the Continuing Education and Workforce Development Department. Now, I am going to make sure that I do not mess up your title, and I'm going to let you share.
All right. My title is Director of Continuing Education and Workforce Development, Operations, and Adult Education.
And that captures so much. And so we're going to try to, move through, because I think it's really impressive when you think about all of the outreach and training and education that happens at WorWic Community College that has nothing to do with getting a degree necessarily. Right. And so that's the world that you're in, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
Okay.
So let's start a little bit with when you think about continuing education and workforce development, this is a place that people can sort of plug in right away.
Yes.
And often get skills and certification that can get them right into the field. So
exactly.
Talk to me a little bit about some examples of how that works in the real world every day.
Okay. So with the continuing education and workforce development training opportunities, our training opportunities provide a very short time frame, whether it's a few weeks to a few months, for students to earn an industry-recognized credential that allows them to immediately begin working in the working world. So for an example, certified nursing assistants, that program is about 6 weeks long, and they immediately come out with the ability to work as a CNA.
So this is, somebody has an interest in getting into the healthcare field. They're looking for something beyond maybe just, whatever they've been doing.
Right.
And they can come to WorWic and get plugged into that CNA program.
Correct.
And within that period of time have a certification to move on into.
Absolutely.
Give me a couple of other examples, because that's, I think, really eye-opening.
Yes.
If you've ever had an opportunity to tour WorWic or looked through the catalog, there are things you would not even imagine in that same scope.
Exactly. Some of the other workforce training programs, we have EKG, the electrocardiogram technician. We have commercial driver's license, so CDL, so if someone wants a CDL-B to drive dump trucks, delivery vehicles, the CDL-A program, you can drive an 18-wheeler, and the CDL program, you get B and A training if you choose the maximum. And it's 8 weeks, 320 hours, and you can go work for any truck driving company.
And I tell you, when I see the 18-wheelers that say student driver on, you would think you might be worried, but then you see WorWic on it, and you know that they're only out there on the road if they've been properly trained.
Exactly. So those are our training students. They are going through their training opportunity to properly prepare them to begin work for our local companies.
And it's not always one of the focus areas for each student, but it's possible once they get that certification, they can return back to WorWic at some point to advance that.
Correct.
Either in the non-credit, the workforce development, or the credit programs as well.
Exactly. So we do work with giving them a perspective. A lot of our programs, for instance, for credit, a lot of our programs in demand, the nursing program, very high in demand. For our students that are interested in getting their feet wet, trying to figure out if nursing is actually right for them, they can start out as a CNA, and it starts to get them familiar with what it's like to be in healthcare. The other thing, there are a lot of local organizations that are looking for someone that has these stackable credentials. So maybe the student already has their certified nursing assistant's license, and maybe they need their phlebotomy training. So providing the phlebotomy training for someone that already has a CNA is building that stackable credential for someone to be placed in the workforce and have more of a broader ability to advance.
Well, certainly I would think that the employer would look at that and see a variety of options that they might have available.
Yes.
working in scholarships at the Community Foundation, we know that typically, and this is true, you know, at the high school level, a lot of scholarships are established for graduating seniors.
Yes.
And what you're talking about are opportunities that are available in some cases to people who have just graduated high school.
Correct.
But it also may be somebody who's 40 years old and wanting to change direction in
Right.
their life, or has lost
Yes.
employment in another field and
Yes.
is transitioning. So what kind of financial assistance is available for programs within your department?
Okay, so we offer, it's brand new, it only started in January of this year. We have the Career Starters Scholarship application. Now, it does provide 50% of tuition and fees for our workforce development courses or series of courses. So CNA is part of that, CDL is part of that, EKG, phlebotomy, there are childcare, medicine assistant. There are just a number of different training opportunities that, if that's going to be their focus, we want to get someone in the workforce to either boost unemployment, or if someone's underemployed. Now, there are specific qualifications. You know, people do have to apply. There is an application on our website, and we do award based on either financial need and or underemployment, unemployment, and some additional criteria depending on what the workforce course is that the student is interested in. We also do have partnership facilities that we work with, for instance, the Lower Shore Workforce Alliance, Community Foundation, yourself, and the Veterans Administration also provides some type of assistance or support in obtaining this workforce training as well.
And so that gives you know, and I know it's a growing area of interest,
Yes.
Particularly from employers in the community,
Yes.
And economic development folks, because they see the value in helping to invest in our local workforce and get people into those fields that are growing right now.
Yes.
What's the website that they would visit to be able to learn more about that Career Starters program?
They would visit www.worwic.edu. There's no hyphen in Warwick. And it is somewhat in our section, so they would have to go under continuing education and then financial resources, and then it's under the financial resources section.
Well, I've always found WorWic's website to be very easy to navigate after, you know, you sort of, and it also gives you a really eye-opening experience to what all the opportunities are
Yes.
that are there, because you can just come plug in and take one class
Yes.
if you want.
Yes.
With all of this growing opportunity in these different program areas and different funding becoming available to help people transition careers or start new careers, you know, what are you seeing from the community in terms of interest and excitement in, you know, in working with WorWic and taking advantage of that?
Well, we do actually have some really exciting programs that are new. The first one is actually table games dealer training, and that's in partnership with the casino at Ocean Downs. That's pretty neat. The other newish program that we have, we've always had veterinary assistance. Now we've changed the format of it for this year so that the student does the veterinary assistance through online, through its Ed2Go, and then they do their clinical practicum in a local veterinary practice. So that's new. In terms of some of the in-demand programs right now, CDL, CNA, HVAC, electrical technician, they are all high demand and with also high interest from employers.
So that's, you know, very motivating from the perspective if you're in the community and looking for a new direction in terms of career, finding that fit between what's of interest to you and then also what's going to be employable in the immediate term in the community.
Yes.
And WorWic can be a great connector for that.
Yes.
We talked a bit earlier, and I know it's not the world that you're in every single day, but there is some transition sometimes from students. How do you differ from the typical sort of credit programming that people are very familiar with in the community college or college world?
Right. So credit programs, they're going to lead to your associate degree or the first 2 years of a baccalaureate degree. Continuing education, though, we're providing that industry recognized credential, immediately placing a student into a workforce training. Now, both are extremely vital to the community. Some students, maybe if they're getting out of high school, maybe they've been out of high school for a while, maybe they're not sure college is for them, so they start off with a continuing education program. Maybe they work for a little while and decide, you know what, in order to advance, maybe they need the actual degree to allow them to advance, whether it's a business degree or some accounting degree, something of that nature. It's going to allow them the skill that they earned from the continuing education side, and then later if they choose that they would like more advancement, more education, they can come back and they can do a credit program. But both are vital to the community.
And I know, it may be time sensitive for some students that are getting ready to graduate this year. For those graduating seniors in Wicomico County, there is that unique and special opportunity right now for credit, for the credit track for the Wicomico Economic Impact Scholarship.
Correct.
And that's very unusual within a community to have that kind of asset. And so we won't get into it now because I know there's a lot to talk about. But I do want to encourage people who have a student in Wicomico County who's graduating this year to look at that opportunity, because it can be an excellent way to start your education and keep your debt down.
Exactly, and that's so correct.
Now, within continuing education and workforce development, there is a myriad of things that happen there.
Yes.
And the programs that you've talked about that are so vital to getting people employed, but you do so much more than workforce training.
Oh, yes,
so
we
can
do.
you give just a glimpse of some of the things that happen out there on the campus at WorWic?
Absolutely. So if you're not interested in workforce training, maybe you are interested in coming back and just doing something for fun, enriching your lives. We do have personal enrichment courses, and they range anywhere from culinary to history to languages. We offer contract training for businesses, and I think a lot of the area businesses still don't know that. We can provide training for your employers right there at your site. We build the training that you specify, and we come to your location and deliver it. We also have an adult education program in Wicomico County that if you have dropped out of high school and you are looking to earn your high school diploma, we have free classes, and it's through a grant through the state of Maryland that allows us to offer those classes to you to help you get your high school diploma if you have dropped out. Within that same education, adult education program, we have English as a second language classes for non-native speakers to help boost their English literacy skills. We also offer the Summertime Gifted and Talented program for students in grades 3 through 9 in Wicomico, Worcester, and Somerset County. That's a very popular program. We have senior center courses, so we offer courses that are just aimed at our senior population. We basically have something for everyone.
You do, and we've benefited from some of those programs at the Community Foundation and helped to support some of them with grants. It really is, when you walk onto the campus at WorWic Community College, it feels like you're being, integrated into the community.
Yes.
There is every age, every type of interest. It really is just a wonderful asset, and so we thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anything that we've missed that we want to make sure that we highlight for people who might be hearing about WorWic for the first time or hearing about it in a different light?
Yes. Our winter schedule will be mailed to all Tri-County permanent addresses on December 1st, and then the schedule is available on our website and in person, so if you wanted to come to WorWic and pick one up on December 4th, which is a Monday. And that's when registration opens for our winter schedule. So we look forward to serving the population.
And you all work on a slightly different schedule than, say, the traditional sort of spring-summer. So
Correct.
If people have missed that winter schedule and want to move into the spring or the summer, they can always visit you online and get more information about what's available.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Thank you for being here with us, Amanda.
Thank you, Erica.
You've been watching Community Foundation Spotlight. If you're looking to change careers or explore something new in your life, we encourage you to reach out to WorWic Community College and see how they might help make a difference in your life. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.